another shout out to 8-Bit Eric, by the way, said, hate to break it to you, Alyssa Mercante, but it's not illegal to talk about someone. Stop acting like no one is allowed to talk about you. Wait, is nobody allowed to talk about her? Because he just made a video today. Alyssa
That's why
Mercante,
I call him Mr. Nobody.
Right. Alyssa Mercante on X says, so, and now tags Asmongold. So now she's trying to get Asmon's attention. Now that she noticed, she's like a fisherman. She's hooked a big one. So Asmongold talks about my video on stream, says I brought all this on myself, which she did, like 1,000,000% all on herself. I don't understand where the confusion is on this. It's then immediately flooded with harassing comments. You didn't even watch the video, Zach. I brought grape and death threats on myself. Yep, you did. You start challenging the internet to fights. Guess what you're going to bring on yourself, Alyssa? Yep. Don't do that stuff. Like, are you retarded? What the hell?
Quite literally. If you piss people off, and I'm probably one of the few radical creators in our sphere, when you piss people off, they're going to be pissed off at you and say whatever they want to say because you have been that cancerous to video games journalism that some in our sphere would prefer if you just vanished.
Now, think about this as well, by the way, which I'd agree with, of course, but she finishes this off with an attack on him. Oh, the irony. Your legacy will be more disgusting than your house, which I think she feels like that's a mic drop moment, like, oh, totally owned him there. Chud owned. And I read that and I'm just like, so it's okay for you to go at people, but when they do it to you, it's harassment and you get flooded with hate. So do you not think that saying stuff like this might make people have a perception of Asmongold as gross, he's disgusting, he's an awful human being, and then there might be a sentiment of people in your circles hating this person, and then somebody might just go rogue and send an email being like, you're disgusting, I can't believe you attacked Alyssa Mercante, I hope you XYZ yourself, and all these other, you don't think that this might start that, Alyssa? Because it does. That's literally what this is. And you can't see the forest for the trees. You do not understand that what you are doing is exactly what you're complaining other people are doing to you. Yep. Any thoughts on that before we move on to the video about this?
Oh yeah. It's a numbers game at the end of the day, folks. And I'm sure Asmongold, Cockroach King, whose ceilings are collapsing. Okay, folks, he called me an advanced racist. I took that personally. Both positively and negatively. So I have no love lost for this guy. He has plenty of solid takes sometimes, and he has plenty of takes that I disagree with. But one thing is clear. He's highlighting the problem with one of the most egregious examples of video games journalism. She still works in the industry through Rolling Stone Gaming, so she is still a problem to be highlighted, which leads me off on a tangent, disagreeing with those who just don't want to talk about this creature. And to me, when you criticize someone, they can criticize you. That is the nature of content creation. Criticize me till the cows come home. If you use me in your material, I'm using that material. Why? In it. Simple.
But she wants to silence people that speak up in disagreement of her. Now, she has all the right in the world to say, no, that's not what I do. But her actions are speaking louder than what she is saying she actually does. Throwing a lawsuit at me that is now 89 pages. And I'm not alone when I say, I read through the entire thing and I'm still confused as to what she's actually suing me for. And you would think, because I have challenged the internet with this, because when you challenge the internet, they go to work for you. So I appreciate that. But I'm like, could people please help me? What the hell is she suing me for? I don't even know. Nobody's been able to, they've read through the whole thing. They're like, I know what the hell this is. It's just a bunch of words and attacks and saying, yeah, these people are somehow transcendentally connected to him, and he's this mafia boss of this underworld in the dark corners of the internet, and
I wish.
right, misogynistic and hates gay people, and I'm like, well,
I
what?
wish.
I'm like, I feel like she's gotten the wrong impression of me. I am not this person that she's trying to make me out to be. And in a weird way, what she's saying about me is actually defamatory to me by what she's suing me about that is not true, and making these accusations in a lawsuit and stating it as fact in a lawsuit. And she can't prove any of it. That's what's crazy about it. And that in itself is an indictment on her and sets her up for being open to having maybe action taken against her now for doing that kind of thing.
She's potentially opening Pandora's box as overtly where Asmongold is concerned, and covertly as far as Alec Baldwin's finger is concerned. Because if she drags the cabal into this situation, then it's going to be all over. Those guys, those creators, they don't mess about, be it overtly or covertly. But Helzo, what do you make of all this?
So this is just another example of what growing up without facing consequences looks like. She's
careful! I don't mean to interrupt right off the bat, but
this is my opinion. So she can say,
no, careful. She might take that as an attack, saying, he's asking for consequences for what I do now. Oh, that's an attack on me. This is how she thinks. Even though I know that's not what you mean. Go on.
Leather, you have not faced the wrath of a Balkan who has been through courts before. So, in my opinion, this is, I don't know her upbringing, never, but there is a pattern. And a lot of people who have dealt even remotely with behavioral psychology can tell you that this is what someone without facing any consequences growing up in the first 7 to 10 years of growing up. This is someone who is just now, just as the bubble of wokeness bursts, just as people are starting to pull away from being mindless robots and just listening to people like her mindlessly and starting to actually voice their opinion as people like us are telling them to, is facing real life consequences. And when that happens at a certain age, above, let's say 12, you don't almost never react in a decent manner. And that's what we're seeing for months now. She's spinning. She's like that, those disgusting, and no, that's not me promoting my channel's name, gifs of hippos taking a shit and rotating their tail and spreading it everywhere, and whatever it lands, that's what she's doing. And you said about the 89-page lawsuit and you don't know what's going on. Yeah, because there isn't one concrete thing. She's just trying to get something to stick and hoping that I would believe that in her mind, when the judge reads that, he would be so tired by the end that he's going to be like, all right, I'm fucking tired. Let's move on. That's
I think she's hoping that by the end the judge reads it and it's like, well, shit, there's a lot of stuff in here. He's got to be a bad guy. There's got to be something that they have to back this up with, because nobody would just say all these things.
And that's why we learn to clip everything.
And ironically, in her harassment and bullying video that got taken down by YouTube, one of the clips she uses is from me talking about her, from deleting all the evidence. And my video is a record of all the evidence that she deleted. And she's saying that is harassment because I'm talking about her. And I'm like, well, out of context, if you just say the blanket, like, oh, this person has made over 100 videos on me, and then just say the blanket, and it's harassment and bullying and hate speech. And they're like, he's never actually said anything harassing against you. He's never actually contacted any personal people in your life. He's never invaded your personal space. He's never done anything. He's never tried to get you canceled from conventions. He's never deleted incriminating tweets. He's never done any of this. In fact, all the videos are what you've done to him. Like, think about
that. He's never contacted a family member and tried to get them separated, or the wife or the husband. Right.
If that's
it's a big club. She's in it. She's written a good few articles for Rolling Stone's gaming division. The last one was in late April. So it is part-time, not full-time. She still has a foot in the door, so she's still an agent of the entertainment establishment. She is not a puppet free of all her strings, folks. And while she is still part of that system, she is still an agent of that system, worthy of being a problem to highlight. And that is the first step. Highlight the problem, then find solutions, then be the change you want to see. 3 steps to a reality base.
Just that this, in my view, is what a part of what she was trying to do. Touch some few strings, or touch some I don't know, someone sympathetic that would see this video. And here's my story of harassment. I've been harassed. I'm harassed, even though I was talking shit about them long before they started responding to me.
Isn't that interesting? How it's only a one-way road. I have not watched this yet. I believe Asmongold talked about this today. So this is a clip from it. I have not seen this yet. So let's see what he says. It's called "Now She's Trying to Get Me Banned" from Asmongold Clips, and it's only 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So let's see it. 27,000 upvotes, 23 dislikes.
That just goes to show how much this guy resonates with people. That's what I like the most about Asmongold.
He's trying to get you bad, just heads up. Well, of course she is. This is now the level of accountability and the level of power that I have, gentlemen, okay? I talked about her video. I didn't watch it. I didn't link people to it. Her video was already reported and taken down from YouTube. If you take up action against another person and you try to get this person like deplatformed, canceled, you deserve this. You do. You deserve this. This is what you deserve.
For context, we have posted almost 10,000 videos on YouTube and never once received a community strike. Do you have any idea how bad she had to mess up to get you to take down her video for harassment and bullying?
In fact, and this might not be a surprise.
Which, by the way, I keep going back to that. Like, she's trying to pretend like, oh, it was a misunderstanding. I just left an email address up. Like, it was taken down for harassment and bullying. And you're saying, oh, no, it was actually this other minor thing. When it's like, no. You literally were harassing and bullying people the entire video, but she can't even see that.
You have to be one hell. You have to be one hell of a creator. Your first directed, edited video, and it gets struck. Not through a targeted harassment campaign, but through an algorithmic strike, which led to a warning. Of course, it was algorithmic, folks, because she's got her handlers and her supporters behind the scenes trying to fix things up for her. That's how she could re-upload it. The machine saw.
Well, that whole situation spoke to a dynamic of almost uncovering, pulling the curtain back and showing that she does have pull to YouTube. She might not directly, but she knows people in the industry that will contact YouTube for her and make sure things get set, quote unquote, right for it.
It's collusion, folks. Plain and simple. But I'll just repeat my statement and put it in a funnier way. The first directed, edited video, and it gets a strike. That is like a first-time golfer, right? Par 3. They hit the club. They get a hole-in-one. That takes some effort.
But she's even trying to get me in trouble now. This is it. You can report Asmongold, report Twitch.
Look at her going under. Imagine if Asmongold did this to her. Imagine if roles were reversed and he would say, it would be poor me. Oh my God, what an awful man. Men are terrible. He hates bisexual women. He probably hates black people too, because why not throw that in there?
Based.
Fucking right.
Every ist and phobe would be thrown in there.
Look, man, the reason I'm being so cavalier about this is because I treat this creature with the seriousness she deserves. Because her whole narrative, her whole argument, it's an empire of lies, and it will collapse like a house of cards. Head up, shoulders back, charge forward.
Yep.
Simple as that.
True. People are looking for integrity now.
You cool with this? She did get harassed and she deserved it. So she's talking about bringing rape and death threats on myself. By the way, this has never happened, and I never would do that because it's disgusting. But you had no problem retweeting things that are effectively telling me to
Seppuku.
So
Wow. Again, isn't the hypocrisy incredible? This is why no one gives a shit about her, because every time she tries to play the victim, people point at everything she's doing saying, no. If you're doing this shit, we can do it too. That's how the world works. If you're just minding your own business and people are just randomly attacking you, then people might be like, wait, this is wild. That's why it blows my mind every time I see people in the industry standing up for her, ignoring the shit she's doing to people completely.
That's why I stand up, or stand by rather, everything that was clipped by this creature during her video. Even, stuff that I would at first glance think or think in my head as a step too far, because I know you've said worse and you've supported worse. So if you're going to support comments that are worse, I'm going to stand by everyone in that situation. Some of my colleagues haven't taken that stance. I know Cassie took a much more measured and, dare I say, timid stance. I said that on the old white road. I might as well say it here. She can feel free to stand by only her own statements. For me personally, I stand by everyone who made their statements in regards to the Mercante creature, because I know your side does it worse than ours, because we're not on a level playing field. If we were, your ecosystem would not exist. Simple as that.
There isn't any. No, I'm not sorry about you getting harassed. I don't give a fuck because
Clip that, you bitch.
To be fair, if I wasn't getting sued right now, that's what I'd be saying.
Yep.
I'm not going to say that though to get clipped out of context, which is what she's trying to do with me. But holy shit, based. Like, I don't give up. I'm not going to even go there. But yeah.
I didn't do it. Like, she's writing articles.
Exactly. She's trying to hold me accountable for the entire fucking internet, which is insanity. Like, what? Does she think I'm like, you can't even do that to like Elon Musk, and he owns X. You can't make him accountable for what people say on it. Like, that's insanity.
Trying to get people deplatformed all the time. She thinks that writing things doesn't have anything to do with me getting harassed. The only person that can get harassed is her.
Hey, Twitch, you cool with this? She did get harassed, and she deserved it.
Well, yes.
Why
did she get harassed?
Do you think that in her brain, do you think her neurons are firing and clicking into each other and being like, Twitch is going to read this and reply to me and say,
yes.
Thank you, Alyssa. We will ban him forever from this platform. Thank you for letting us know that he said you deserve to be harassed.
Smash,
Yes,
you lost
he
me
does
when you
think
said
that.
brain.
Good point.
never get harassed, right? Nobody ever sends me death threats. I get harassed every fucking day.
Welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Like, I do too. By the way, I shared all the harassment stuff that I got just recently. I get the harassment stuff just like anyone else does. In fact, I'd argue I get quite a bit more because of what's happening right now. But for some reason, no one gives a shit. Is it because I'm a dude? Is it because I'm not crying to the internet? And like, what is it? Why does no one care? Why do people only care about her getting harassed?
I wanted to first answer Smash, and then I'm gonna say one thing. Yeah, you're a dude, but you're also a man. You're like on the side of things that has men on it, and she's on the side of things on, if you want to call it, on the political spectrum or the left, right, whatever you want to call it. She's on that side where there's no men, in my opinion. There's males, but there are no men, and she is a woman supposedly, and she can cry, and she has the full support of a still giant bubble that deals with targeted harassment and deals with protecting when it's convenient those who they feel that they're harassed. This is my truth, people. These are opinions are my own, people. These are the people who do not live in reality. And the reason that this is happening is because it was either you or other people and you beforehand that burst her bubble big time and burst a lot of other bubbles and let reality seep in, the toxicity of reality seeping into their lives, and they can no longer live in La La Land because that's what they grew up with. And that's what the woke left bubble is, the cult, the absolute cult of ideology of not living in the reality, making up shit as you go. And when you start bursting that bubble, ever since 5, 6, 7 years ago, they became increasingly more unhinged. And Alyssa is basically the next level at this point by suing you. And you said, I think as well, like I've been on the platform for a long time as well, like 10 years now. And this is the first time that I'm hearing that someone's being sued over basically talking about someone else who also talked about them and other people.
Right.
So
it goes both ways.
If we're going
by
that
the
way,
if we want to go back that far, it's like she literally was the one that first interacted with me and
exactly
was very aggressive, attacking, pulling up things in my past, my investments that failed, trying to make me feel like shit. Like she got it started with me with that. And I was like, okay, she's opening the door. I guess we're going to go down this road. I know things in your past based off of what you've said online as well. So I guess we're going there. To me, that's how a conversation works. If you're going to be a complete dick to someone, they're going to be a dick back to you. If you're going to treat them with respect, they're going to treat you with respect back to them. That's clearly a lesson she never learned because she comes from an authoritarian position where she demands people respect her authority, no matter what she says or does to you.
Exactly. And there's a lot of people like that. And when you throw the first punch, then you should expect to get a punch back. So I don't like, if you were on her mindset, you would have sued her right there and then for harassment.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, but you didn't because you actually have a spine and a backbone, and you actually have integrity. And
I would almost argue. I'd almost argue I'm not retarded, and I know that there's no lawsuit. That's not a case you can even make. You can't even win that. And if you could, holy shit, we got some problems. If she's going to be able to, like, I've said this before too. If she wins this lawsuit, that is literally opening the door up for retaliation for literally the same shit she did to me, and I'm just going to use this as the playbook for that. It's like, okay, if you have to, that we now have an established case. Like, use that case.
I mean, if that happens, that would be, in my opinion, the end of the justice system. Like any sort of integrity for the justice, because I have read half of the document, the new document, and I've read Ron Coleman's response. And Ron Coleman, like, from someone who doesn't have a legal background, I've dealt with legal stuff in my day job. And like I said, that what Ron Coleman did, if I was a judge, if I was someone who just has a rational thought without knowing anything about it, I was going to be like, yeah, there's nothing here. That's my opinion. It literally, this is a nothing burger on her end.
Hassan gets harassed every fucking day. Welcome to the fucking show. You're rude. You're obnoxious. You're like, oh, fight me.
If you have a problem with that, come fight me physically.
Which, by the way, like, this is basically Exhibit A. Like, you can't sue someone after or before you do this. Even if you do this after you sue someone, it's like you're still antagonizing the community. You're literally showing everyone who you are. This is not helping anything.
She's literally a Fortnite skin. They could put her on Fortnite and sell different skins.
Bitch.
This is embarrassing, yes. And turn this into, I think that you deserve death threats. Everybody can see through this instantaneously. Everybody knows.
Do you think judges are stupid, by the way?
That's not what I mean. This is exactly what a cry bully is. They sit around, they push people around, they attack them, they malign them, do whatever they can to make this person look bad. And then the moment that they get any pushback, if
harassment. Oh,
you step into the kitchen, you're going to get heat. It doesn't matter who you are. And if you don't like it, get the fuck out of the kitchen. That's the way it is.
Might I suggest a different kitchen? A big, beautiful kitchen.
they went with Trump.
Fries
At
in the
McDonald's.
back. Oh, fries in the back.
I
Oh,
wonder
fries.
if that was a nod. I don't know. Asmon probably never saw me, but that was kind of one of my things. I would say, if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. I used to say that a lot in my videos. I don't know if that was a nod to me on that or not, but
But then you're a woman, so go back into the kitchen and make me a sandwich.
Or some fries in this case.
right, exactly.